most devastating thing ever.
You want me to try to get different angles from this, or just keep it right here?
I'm putting that out. That's going on your door. That's going on your door.
You thought that was funny? You just walked the other way.
We don't have any SF pilots here. It was like no, I had no chance to say no. I had to do it too.
Hey, Emma, I lost my...
I'll get dressed and we'd go back and we'd just stare at the student. Why are you taking so long?
I'm not too bad.
You got the 360, all the cords, let me just...
Yes.
Don't worry, just some... Oh, don't get that one.
You guys use a
No.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Good enough. Let's follow, I guess.
At a sprawling military airbase, the morning atmosphere was unusually different. The sun had barely risen over the eastern horizon, but activity on the runway was already brisk and tense. Technical vehicles moved around the hangars as technicians inspected every detail of the aircraft. Radio communications rang almost continuously throughout the base. Amidst this bustle, two female pilots walked toward a sleek jet parked near the runway. The aircraft was a Northrop T-38 Talon, one of the most legendary supersonic trainers in the history of modern military aviation. Its presence at the airbase signaled that a crucial mission was about to begin. Donning full flight suits, helmets, and chest oxygen tanks, the two pilots began their pre-flight procedures. Each step was performed calmly, yet with complete focus, as every second counts in an emergency situation like this. They had undergone hundreds of hours of training to prepare for such a moment. A small metal ladder was attached to the side of the aircraft's cockpit. One pilot held the ladder while meticulously inspecting the aircraft's exterior, ensuring no components were overlooked. The other pilot checked the instrument panel inside the open cockpit to ensure all systems were working properly before starting the engines. To some, this aircraft may seem simple compared to modern fighter jets. However, the Northrop T-38 Talon has a long and important history in military aviation. For decades, this aircraft has trained thousands of pilots before they can operate far more advanced fighter jets. This aircraft was designed and manufactured by the American aircraft manufacturer Northrop Corporation. Its primary goal was to create a training platform for pilots planning to fly next-generation supersonic fighter jets. With its streamlined design and twin turbojet engines, the aircraft provides a flight experience very close to that of a real fighter aircraft. The development history of the T-38 can be traced back to the early 1950s. At that time, Northrop engineers were developing experimental fighter aircraft projects such as the Northrop N-102 Fang and the Northrop N-156. The designs from these projects later became the basis for the development of new supersonic trainer aircraft. In the mid-1950s, the United States Air Force announced a need for a supersonic trainer aircraft to replace older jets such as the Lockheed T-33 Shooting Star. These older aircraft were no longer capable of replicating the increasingly fast and complex flight characteristics of modern fighter aircraft. Northrop then adapted the N-156 design to meet this need. Their proposal offered a lightweight, fast, and efficient trainer aircraft with lower operating costs than its competitors. The design eventually won a contract from the United States Air Force. The company then received an initial order to build 3 prototypes, designated the YT-38. The first prototype made its maiden flight on April 10, 1959, marking the birth of the world's first supersonic training aircraft. This success marked a significant milestone in the history of modern military pilot training. Several years later, on March 17, 1961, the aircraft officially entered active service with the USAF. Since then, the T-38 Talon has become a vital part of the American military pilot training system. Thousands of fighter pilots have completed training on this aircraft before operating various renowned fighter jets. Not only the Air Force, but NASA also uses this aircraft to train astronauts. It is often used in high-speed flight training, which requires a high degree of concentration and coordination. Furthermore, the United States Navy has operated the T-38 for various training programs. The Naval Test Pilot School at Patuxent River even used this aircraft as one of its primary test pilot training platforms. For decades, this aircraft has also been used in various international training programs with pilots from North Atlantic Treaty Organization countries. The program allows pilots from various countries to train together and learn modern military aviation standards. As of 2025, the aircraft has served with the United States Air Force for over 60 years. This exceptionally long operational lifespan makes it one of the most successful military training aircraft in aviation history. But technological advancements have finally brought change. In 2018, the USAF announced plans to replace the T-38 with a new generation of trainer aircraft, the Boeing Saab T-7 Red Hawk. This aircraft is designed to prepare pilots for the much more advanced 5th-generation fighter jets. If the program proceeds as planned, initial production of the T-7A is expected to begin around 2026, with initial operational capability around 2027. However, the T-38 Talon will likely remain in service until the early 2030s before being completely replaced. Back at the airstrip, the 2 female pilots have completed all their checks. The aircraft's engines start, and the sound of the turbojets slowly turns into a powerful roar. Indicator lights in the cockpit flash one by one, while radio communications with the control tower are rapid and brief. In a few minutes, the aircraft will taxi down the runway and soar skyward at incredible speed. For these pilots, this moment is not just about flying the aircraft, but the culmination of years of training, discipline, and dedication. And even as aviation technology continues to advance, the Northrop T-38 Talon will always be remembered as the aircraft that trained generations of modern fighter pilots. Under the roar of jet engines on that airstrip, the long history of military aviation continues. Today, 2 female pilots prepare to write a small part of that history as they prepare to take off into the sky.